Hey everybody, this is Joe. I'm in my Houston, Texas garden. I'm in zone 9A and I am going to give you a look around. It is early November. I also have a lot of house repair going on, so ignore all this ugly stuff. Let me start you around with this Salvia amanti. So this is the sister plant to the Salvia amistad, and I cut it back in the middle of the summer, and it has taken its sweet time to come out. But look at that, isn't that amazing? So beautiful. And it's really, you can see it's really starting to come all over. I've got this little rose bush back here that has been covered up mostly by other salvias that I've since taken out. And I know I've got a thrip problem in the yard, so it hasn't gotten to these yet. And that one is called, oh look, I left the tag so I could remember. This one is called, I got this at the Antique Rose Emporium, and it is called Delta Gamma Heritage. And it's looked mostly white for me. This is the first year, and I mostly let it be engulfed by other plants. So hopefully next year it'll do better. You see it's got a pale tinge of pink, and it will get a little bit creamy, almost towards peach. And so a little yellow, a little peach, a little white, a little bit of pink. So I'm hoping that will do better. You can see my problem is that all of these things tend to flop over and smush them. And then here is that hilarious Ami Dara, that pink Ami that made it in complete shade under one of my little cages all summer long. And now it looks like it's got new growth. I'm super excited. Maybe that'll be pretty this fall. As always, this beautiful blue Cape Plumbago looks great, and I really like it with the purple sweet potato vine kind of crawling through it. You have to keep this under control or it'll smother everything. And then I've got a little pink peak of Excellence von Schubert, which is such an awesome rose. And it's bloomed a little bit. You can see it's all gone over now, but it did bloom for me this fall, and I just barely pruned it. And I bought some chelated iron, is that the right word? I think that's what I'm thinking of, to put on this. I haven't done it, but I just ordered it because it's so yellow. It needs to be dark green leaves. But look, I got some new little babies coming, so that'll be pretty. I'm almost given up, you guys. All of these coneflowers, which were spectacular 2 years ago, just are not great. Oh, sorry. Big jetliner going over us. This little guy, that is Pretty Parasols, which it's maybe 18 inches tall, and last year they were 4 feet tall, and I can't figure out what's going on. I've got some little, this is Echinacea pallida, which is a native, but it's just, it's alive, but it's not doing anything. I've got one little something coming up here, and I've got this like terrible looking plant. This was a volunteer, and then that was a volunteer the same day. Look at that. I mean, so I don't know. I may be giving up on some coneflowers over in this area. What I've done is I've moved this Duranta, which is native to Texas, purple. I cut it back. You can see I just chopped it back. It had really big branches, but it's coming out a little bit more. I put it inside of this little obelisk to keep it from maybe just getting so big and flopping over huge. And so I'm hoping that was a good idea. I don't know if that was a good idea or not. We'll find out. And then look, here's some little volunteer, oh gosh, what's that called? Powder puff, something. It's pretty invasive. It's non-native. I tend to rip it up if it's wandered off, but I do kind of like it down under here. And then that's a native frog fruit climbing through it. So that's kind of nice. And I've thrown a bunch of seeds out here for next year. And this is one of those that just showed up, the little white. I think this is called, now I called this on my last video coral sage, and what I meant to say was scarlet sage, which is Salvia coccinea, which is native to Texas, and it comes in a couple of colors. I thought it was only red, but apparently. Here it is in white. I didn't plant any white salvia out here like this, so I don't know where that came from, but I'm sprinkling it because I like it. It shows up from the house really nicely and adds a little bit of sparkle. And then here's the pink variety, which if I were an early riser, I could show you how beautiful it is in the morning. But by the time I'm filming in the evenings, it's sort of closed up and is ready for getting ready for tomorrow. I'm not sure if this is, as it's gotten cooler, it sort of went more coral. So I thought maybe it was coral nymph salvia, then it warmed back up, it kind of went pink again. I do not know really what this is, but I love it, and I'm sprinkling it all over the place. And there's a huge one right there. I'm just going to give you one more look. Look at that. Oh my goodness. It has just been so slow to come out, but all of this in one huge clump. So I'm really thrilled with that, as that's adding a bunch of color to my fall garden. And then all this little scruffy stuff down here, that is evening primrose. That's a Texas wildflower, and that I planted, and then it got out of control, and I ripped it up, but I'm letting it go now, and hopefully it'll be really beautiful in the spring. And then if it gets out of control, I'll start pulling it out again. And here is that volunteer gomphrena, which I trimmed back really hard. And then this is that Tutti Frutti agastache, which I can't believe it made it through the summer, especially this summer. So I'm hoping, look at this, it's got new growth right there, and I'm hoping that maybe that'll be beautiful, and it's already pretty and blooming, but maybe that'll be really a showstopper in the fall and continuing. We'll see. We shall see. And I have got my fennel going. I bought some fennel, and I have one fennel that's left from last year, and then I have sprinkled fennel seeds. I don't know if you can see those tiny little sprouts right there, and those are for eastern black swallowtail butterflies. And really last fall we had so many of them, and I thought, well, I better get some of their host plant in the ground. And then this week I bought some parsley. This is curly, that's all I could find. Curly parsley, we'll see how that goes. And then I put a bunch of parsley seeds in here, which I can just see. I just put them in the other day. So there's the little babies coming up. And then I bought this, look at this beautiful, this is a native salvia. I've never seen it before. It's very delicate because I know I broke off like 4 pieces of it just taking it home in the car. But it is so pretty. And if you're interested, I will find the name of it. I kept the tag, and I'll find the name of it and put it in the description if y'all are interested. And then I think, see all these little babies? I think those are the little native geraniums that are basically weeds, but I love them. They're tiny little flowers. And I bought some seeds 100 years ago, and I had one of them come up last year, and it was so pretty. And so I'm letting this, I think that's what that is, and I'm just letting it go. And then I've got bluebonnets coming up, and I've got bluebonnets gone crazy all in my gravel. And so I am digging them out of the middle of the gravel. I'm like, look, here's a super convenient one in the middle of the steps. And there's another one. So when they get a couple of leaves on them like this, I'm digging them up and moving them. If they get any bigger, then they have a little taproot and they will not be happy. And so I planted seeds along here, which are popping up, but mostly I've got little ones that I've dug up from the gravel. And I've just put them, oh, this is that Blackfoot daisy. Look how great. Oh my goodness. and then more bluebonnets. And I've really tried to get them, and I'm trying to get them to grow up under this rose bush so that maybe that'll all be blue in the spring. And this is the Nearly Wild. So pretty. I love this rose. And then, I don't know if you remember, I had tried in those pots on either side of the garage, native plants. They were so unhappy, so unhappy. They never got any bigger, so I've moved them. I put pansies in there. But I put 3 pink Gora here, and they seem to have transplanted pretty well. And I got some bluebonnets in here as well. So I've got the pink Gora, and I know this is going to be a big hunk of pink because this is a pink rose, then that's pink Gora, and then that is a pink rose. But this one just blooms off and on, big in the spring, big in the fall, and the rest of the year really doesn't. It'll spit out 1 or 2. And after this terrible year, you can see I've only got like 4 flowers on it right now when it should have a bunch. So I'm not too worried about having so much pink altogether, but we'll see. I like pink a lot, but it might be too much. But I've got that purple right there to kind of break it up. And then my theme continues because I'm really not breaking it up. I've got this Gomphrena. Now this is in a pot, and I will probably move that. I'm trying to get some of that white salvia to grow back in here. I've already got 1 or 2 that I've thrown seeds out and they've taken off. But this is pink and this is pink. This is the pink one that, you know, it was spectacular until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it all sort of gives in until the next day. But it's kind of coral, so there's going to be a lot of pink. And then that pale pink, now that I'm talking to you about it, I'm seeing that there's a lot of pink. But at least that's purple, and that's white down there, and a little yellow. So there's going to be a lot of pink next year, y'all. And the pink muley grass right in here, so pretty. I finally found a way to thwart Mrs. Doubtfire. I put some society garlic that never blooms for me. It hates me. The plant's great. The flowers never happen. They're in pots, and to me they smell terrible. I think that the smell of society garlic is awful. And I like the smell of garlic, but not this plant. And so I put them next to where she kept lying down on that one plant, and it worked, and she has moved. I've got my theater of succulents here, and just like I wanted, I'm so excited. Look at all the bluebonnets coming up amongst these. So this will all be blue on the ground around these pots, and I'm super thrilled. And somebody commented, I knew that they did well, and these are ones that just came off of the plants. I didn't actually put any seeds in here on purpose, I don't think. These are just seeds from last year, and bluebonnet seeds really need some they like to be the person who commented, hello, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name right now, said they love to be disturbed, and that's true. And they kind of have to be nicked and weathered a bit to germinate. And me walking all over them and rolling them around in this gravel for 6 months while I'm walking around has definitely disturbed them and nicked them, and they're germinating like crazy. And I've probably dug up 25 of them and moved them. And every day I come out, I'm digging up the bigger ones, and then every day I come out and there's new baby ones coming up. And so I have these little cages. I've got workmen bopping around here replacing wood rot, which if you live in Houston, that's what you get, wood rot on your wooden house. And so I'm just trying to make sure these don't get stepped on. And then you can see this little business, this salvia, has seeded all in the gravel right there. So I'll probably be digging those up in a couple weeks anyway, or months, putting them around. And then this is Souvenir de Saint Anne, which I think looks really pretty right now. A lot of my roses have thrips, and so they're not opening properly, but this does not seem to be bothered. But I've always thought that the thrips don't bother the roses that have fewer petals as much as they bother a rose that has lots of petals. And my little 290 pink buttons just keeps chugging along. I think it's got thrips as well, but it's all right. They look all right. And then here, my great experiment in the last couple of weeks is I took out all of the Salvia Mystic Spires from the front yard and put it back here. And I took all of I had some Mystic Spires that look really good. I took all of the Salvia Big Blue out of here and put them somewhere else. And then I took all of the native Salvia farinaceae that was in those pots I was talking about over there, and I put them in the front yard. And so that makes more things in the front yard be native. Now, I have a little experiment, which is this one. I think that the 3 Salvia Mystic Spires that I put in died. Now, and one of them was fine. I think 3 of them died. I found this. This is just called Salvia Spires. And I don't know what it's going to be. I saw it at the store. They were so pretty. They didn't have any Mystic Spires for me to flesh this out. And so I just got this. I can see that it's a little bit different. You can see the spire is really, really long compared to some of these other ones. But the leaves look the same. So who knows what this is going to turn out to be. It may be way bigger and not match. And then I told you I'm going to have a theme of the beautiful blooming parsley out here, so I haven't put those in yet. And then I've got this gosh, what's it called? Peter's Purple Monarda, which is, it looks really scruffy after it blooms, but I'm getting new growth for that, and that'll be beautiful in the spring. And then here's my this is a transplanted bluebonnet, but you can see the little babies coming up on their own. I'm so excited about this. I have seen beautiful fields of this. This is the Palafox, and look how pretty. And it's a wildflower. I really thought that was going to bloom and then poop right out. And it's been blooming for weeks, and I love it so much. It's so floaty. I wish I had bought a ton more of it. Not that I have any room to put it. And then I dug up some hyacinth bean vines and put them out here. And I've got a little volunteer, one of those salvias, those pink salvias. And then somewhere, where did I see it out here? I saw, right back there I've been throwing cleome seeds everywhere. And so I see them popping up. And then this, of course, looks so beautiful. I just love this ocean of Salvia leucantha. I am so excited with it. We shouldn't have this big hole in it from when we had a big rain, but goodness, isn't it pretty? And I like it next to this lovely grass. Let me see if I can go back there and we can just take a little look. And I'll put some more parsley here. But look how pretty that looks together. I just love it. And all these little wispy things. And I'm liking my 3 obelisks there. That's the new one. This is my ancient one. And then way over there is the one that I have had in the garden for a long time. And I do also really like, I've got gomphrena in a pot back there, and I really like that gomphrena behind the salvia. I think that's really pretty. I've got little wildflowers. These I'm going to try to move. That is wine cups, and I've moved a couple of them, and they've done all right. That's Texas wildflower. Those will be pretty in the spring. They kind of die down to almost nothing and then come back in the spring. Ooh, get off of me, little bug. All right, I just got bitten by a bug. A ladybug, no less. Now I've got these lovely, this is a fall aster native to Texas. These over here came back from last year, but they did not do well. And so this one that has got all the buds on it is new. I bought that at the store. And then here, oh my goodness, is the pigeonberry. Look at all the berries on the pigeonberry. And those are all, I hope there are birds that'll come out here and snatch them up before Miss Doubtfire gets wind of the birds. And I've replaced a lot of things in pots and bought, this was stock that did so well last year. It looks pretty iffy right now. Lots of wonderful angel wing begonias, different kinds from different stores. And then I've broken off pieces of my own, and they have rooted really well. I'm pretty proud of myself because I usually don't get them. That's my sister's job, root the begonias. And then we have the monarchs coming through. They're kind of late, and they have been coming through. My husband saw 4 monarchs all at once yesterday, and I was very jealous because I did not see them, but I have seen 2 at a time. I've seen monarchs every single day and a lot of other different kinds of butterflies, and I've gotten some good pictures, and so I will put some pictures of the different ones and identify them in the community tab. They are almost always on this penta. Almost every single monarch I have seen, and there was one on this particular penta bush for 5 hours yesterday. He never left. He just stuck around. So I got lots of good pictures of him. And then this pitiful, look how terrible. This is that pink and white Cleum. It's just pitiful. And I haven't cut it down, and here's why, is because I'm waiting for all of those seed pods to ripen so that I can have these in the garden next year. I'll save the seeds and throw them out in the spring. I've been throwing them out all fall as well, but I'm going to throw them out in the spring, and then, like I mentioned, sort of successively throughout the summer to see if I can get some of them to bloom this fall. Here's one of those lighter pink pentas, and then because it's fall, all my fire spike is blooming, and then my Gulf Coast penstemon has struggled in this heat, and yet I looked out here yesterday and realized here it is blooming again. And so I guess some of it's happy enough, but some of it has just straight up died. Like here is one of my problems. This keeps happening, but there's another piece there that's still left. And then here's the blue mist flower, and I didn't think it had enough sun back here to bloom, but sure enough, it has bloomed really beautifully, and that's a native Texas plant. Here's that fire spike. And back there, all of that is that Amistad purple salvia. Well, I'm going to end on my favorite little thing that happened. I found, if you have watched my channel for a while, you might remember me taking caladium bulbs and putting them in a little thing where they'd be nice and dry and they wouldn't freeze, and I put them in my garage. Well, I lost them. I forgot they existed. I dug those things up 11 months ago. And if you wouldn't believe it, I found them in the garage. I put them after 10 months in the heat of the Texas garage and put them in here about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Look at that. I can't even believe that they were still alive, and they're giving me this kind of show. So if that gives you hope for saving your caladium bulbs, there you go. I highly recommend. And then this, I've been meaning to do a pot tour, but I was gonna finish on that. But look at this. This is that is Jewels of Opar. Look at that. And I found out it's native to Texas. It's native, I think, to the lower 48 states. So, well, you guys, thanks for taking a walk around with me and spending some time with me. I will do another video of the shady side, the fence side, and my front yard pretty soon. The front's looking pretty good these days. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.